Hello and welcome to Clearview Television. We are reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. First, the headlines. Nigerians groan in pain as market survey reveals skyrocketing food prices at Yuletide. Again, London court denies former Nigeria's Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu bail despite meeting conditions and pleas to electronically monitor his movement. Protest and international condemnation as Taliban bans women from university education. I am Dorothy Monday with these and more. Abuja residents have been groaning in pain following a soaring cost of foodstuffs as Nigerians count down to Christmas and New Year celebrations. A visit to the Gariki market reveals the prices of most food items have increased astronomically, making life increasingly difficult for many Nigerians, especially the low-income earners, the unemployed and other vulnerable people. Clearviewtv's Florence Joshua sought the opinion of Abuja residents on the impact of increasing prices of foodstuff.
Taking a roll down to Gariki Market, Clearview Television is here to find out the cost of foodstuff and prices of things. Food prices have risen globally in recent years. It began with the coronavirus pandemic that made farmers and food-producing companies unable to cultivate and produce food in sufficient quantities. Many food factories ran out of raw materials for their operations. Though farmers have since returned to the fields and factories have reopened, but food prices have remained high. With the current war in Ukraine and Russia, the insecurity in the northern Nigeria, flood disaster and banditry in the Middle Belt, and the global climate change, foodstuffs across the world keep skyrocketing. Clearview TV surveys the Gariki market in Abuja to show the variances in prices.
But Christmas now wey na both Muslim and Christian all dey celebrate am, we no even know whether Christmas dey around, whether Mary no go born Jesus this time we don't know. Unlike 8 years ago, this our line, this is provision line, foodstuff line, will be rushing, people will be pushing each other with biro, they will be tearing customer cloth. But now you can see as people dey move, wait, nobody, the body cannot even touch each other. See empty barrel moving, no customer to buy things. We look as if we are not in Christmas season.
The cost of meat is too high. The thing is getting worse every day. As of last year, we used to sell kilo 2,000, 2,500, but as of now, we are selling 3,000, 3,200. Customers are complaining. They are complaining no money. There is no money in the country, no money to spend, no money to eat food, no money to pay school fees. School fees is high, transportation is high because there is no fuel, no gas. That is the reason why.
Presently, the cost of chicken is overcost. The chicken that we even buy presently, even for poultry, we even buy 3,000. For market, we are selling 3,500, 4,000 naira, including the expensive. But by last year, at least, we even buy 2,150. We even see the difference of 2,000. Because when we even go to poultry, they even tell us the bag of feed is even increased from 4,000, 5,000 to 12,000 plus. That is why it costs all this year. Because the bag of feed is increased almost 2 times. Even though the day order of the chicken almost is 10,000 plus, per now is 47,000. That is the day order of the chicken.
30,000, 20,000, 25,000, 32,000. Nigeria foreign 38, 40,000. Highest 42,000. No, last year it's cheap fast this year. This year still cost fast last year. This year no rise way for farm. The rise never do well like years way past. The people where they get rise 100 baht for farm. This year no pass 70 or 30 because fertilizer I don't cost. I make.
Some Nigerians express their pain and ask the government to step in to mitigate the impact by creating more jobs and programs that will empower Nigerians.
It's incomparable. Last year was definitely better. Now a bag of rice is going for 40,000. And with the minimum wage at 18,000, means somebody's take-home pay can only afford. In fact, you can't even buy him a bag of rice. You can't even buy him half a bag of rice. And for someone who has a wife and children, you know what that is going through. Vegetable oil is out. In fact, it's out of the question. That one is something else. The price has actually escalated. I went to buy meat. Goat meat that we used to buy before, how much a kilo? Now they're telling me that a kilo is 2,600, 2,007. So how are we going to survive with it? Nobody. We are just having hope and trusting God that something definitely has to happen to make life better for the ordinary man.
What I would tell people now be say let all of us full of prayer. Let's be prayerful. May God give us better government after Baba Buhari.
May them manage you. May them manage. Anybody when no get money to eat food or rice now, making no think and too much, make him manage. May in the pray.
We are just managing. We can't stay one place. If we don't one place, not the worse. We just the manage. So may the government may they help us. May they make things easier for us.
The constant and upward movement of prices is discouraging to many families with limited budgets. Economic experts say this adds to the stresses and the frustration of many Nigerians, making life unbearable for them. Florence Joshua, reporting for Clearview Television.
Christmas is here, and it is a global phenomenon in which Christians all over the world celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ in Bethlehem of Judea. During greetings, we hear Merry Christmas, but along the line, an abbreviation crept in, and you now hear Merry Xmas. In this commentary, Clearviewtv's Odion Bello examines the position of the letter X as an abbreviation for Christ.
I grew up knowing the letter X as the 24th letter of the alphabet and as a grade used to indicate absence from an examination, an abysmal performance, or no result at all. The letter X is used to represent a number or the name of person or thing that is not known or stated, or better still, X represents an unknown quantity or variable. We have now entered that part of the year when the word X is displayed to represent Christ. I hear it is an abbreviation for Christ. I then begin to wonder, a sign of absence as abbreviation for Christ, a sign of demolition as abbreviation for Christ, a sign used for abysmal performance as an abbreviation for Christ. Even X means not known, and we agree that is the best abbreviation for Christ. I will sure the origin of this idea cannot be traced to Antichrist. Why not see Mass? I keep asking myself. Why X, the sign of annulment? Now, let us break the combination down. Christ and Mass. If Mass means gathering, then Christmas is a gathering of Christ people. But X, Mass, simply means no gathering or unrecognized gathering. Many schools of thought believe that after the day of gathering of Christ followers, Christmas became famous and respected worldwide, atheists and antichrists decided to change it by removing the name Christ for an X to mean that there is no Christ. X is often used to designate a person, thing, or factor whose true name is unknown or withheld. I suspect the injection of this derogatory alphabet X into the celebration of Christ was perfected by the Antichrist. So, from here at Clearview TV, we wish you Merry Christmas and not Merry Xmas.
President Muhammadu Buhari has sent a 819.5 billion naira supplementary budget to the National Assembly. The budget is expected to be funded by domestic borrowings. This will increase the budget deficit to 8.17 trillion naira, according to a letter read by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Bajabiamila. The supplementary budget is to address food security following devastating floods across the country, as well as damage to the road infrastructure and water sectors. The president said the supplementary budget is premised on the need to complete ongoing critical federal government projects, such as dams and irrigation projects. Ahead of the forthcoming 2023 general elections, the African School of Diplomacy and International Relations this Tuesday organized the second edition of its annual public lecture series for stakeholders in Abuja. As our correspondent now reports, the lecture is geared towards harnessing relevant mechanisms that will ensure sustainable development in the country.
With just 66 days to go in the countdown to the 2023 polls, stakeholders have converged on Abuja, the nation's capital, to discuss and map out strategies to safeguard sustainable development in Nigeria and Africa in general. Speaking at the public lecture organized by the African School of Diplomacy and International Relations in collaboration with Estam University, Republic of Benin, the Vice Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the organization, Dr. Tunji Asaolu, said the event with the theme Democracy, Security, Governance and Electoral Rights, the mechanisms to safeguard sustainable development in Africa, is aimed at creating a platform where opinions are shaped and recommendations issued to the federal government ahead of the 2023 general elections.
There is need to also be mindful that in an attempt to address the inefficiencies in democracy, security, governance, and the electoral rights for sustainable development to be achieved and safeguarded, it is crucial to harmonize these three core elements, namely economic growth, social inclusion, and environmental protection. These elements are interconnected and all are critical for the well-being of individuals and society in Africa. Unless we examine this and put in place strategically, sustainable development in Africa cannot be achieved and safeguarded.
Other speakers at the event also bared their minds on how Nigeria and Africa in general can attain sustainable growth and development.
The catalyst for sustainable development is good governance. Like I said, democracy may not be a perfect system of government, but the fact that it guarantees freedom of expression, freedom of choice, and imbibes checks and balances, we recommend it as a preferred choice globally, with needed mechanism to trigger sustainable development in Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, my last word is that we as a people, as African people, as Nigerian people, for us to achieve sustainable development, for us to protect democracy, we must participate in the leadership recruitment process because it starts from there.
Wherever there is no semblance of good governance, then you cannot, in today's world, say that such country is developed. So good governance brings about development. And in bringing about the good governance, democracy is key to it.
Opportunity is life, and life is opportunity. Today we are here today because of opportunity, and it is an opportunity that enables us to have this great occasion stipulated in this beautiful auditorium today.
The 2022 annual public lecture series also featured the conferment of honorary doctorate degrees to notable Nigerians for their contributions to promoting the African heritage, as well as the conferment of fellowship awards to stakeholders. Gloria Atta, reporting for Clearview Television.
Again, the Central Criminal Court, London, has denied bail to former Nigeria Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu. The court, which is also known as the Old Bailey, in a pre-trial hearing on Tuesday, gave its verdict denying the bail on the grounds that Ekweremadu will flee the country. In the bail application, Ekweremadu's lawyer had argued that the Nigerian High Commissioner to the United Kingdom and the Attorney General of the Federal Republic of Nigeria had written to the court that Ekweremadu was not a flight risk. The lawyer further argued that a guarantee to produce him should he pose a flight risk was given, and that the Nigeria High Commission in the UK had equally given the option of tagging Ekweremadu electronically to monitor his movement. As regards attestation of Ekweremadu's character by respected Nigerians and organizations, his lawyer also argued that the lawmaker had proven to be a caring and responsible father and could not escape from London, abandoning his wife and sick daughter. The defense further told the court that they had sureties and securities of nearly £500,000 from 11 people to secure Ekweremadu's release on bail. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has written to Doyin Okupe, stating that he hopes a chance of redemption is availed of the party's embattled former presidential campaign council director general, even as he faces a money laundering case. Obi's letter comes a few hours after Okupe resigned as the PPC DG, following his conviction by a federal high court Abuja on Monday. In his brief communique this Wednesday, the former Anambra State governor said he respects Okupe's decision to step down as DG of the PPC. Obi added that the efforts made so far by the revered publicist in seeing that the Labour Party's message gets to the people ahead of the 2023 is highly commendable and will always be reference point for presidential candidates of the Labour Party. As part of strategies to increase the chances of youth and women winning elective positions in the forthcoming general elections, Yega Africa has kick-started what is described as political organizing lab to prepare youths and female candidates for the task ahead. The latest survey by Yega Africa in October 2022 indicates a 28.6% representation for youth vying for elective positions. The report.
A non-governmental organization, Yaga Africa, has taken the responsibility of preparing some candidates of the 2023 general elections to increase the chances of winning with the Political Organizing Lab program. According to the executive director of Yaga Africa, Samson Itudu, the step aims at boosting the participation of youth and women in politics.
But for these young people who have emerged as candidates on the ballot, we consider it as part of our own generational responsibility to provide the technical support, helps them organize effectively, understand the procedure as they prepare for elections. And so this lab is just geared towards equipping them with the kind of skill that they require to win elections.
Yaga Africa is optimistic that Nigerian youth and women have the capacity to make a difference in the affairs of the nation if given the opportunity and adequate support.
There is a generation of young people who are determined to change the face of politics, and they represent that new cadre of leaders that Nigeria needs to transform as well as solve the leadership crisis that we face.
Some politicians present at the event expressed confidence in changing the narrative of Nigeria politics and democracy in the coming years if elected into power.
I'm really very excited to be part of this program because the Yaga Africa has been one of the major struggles for not too young to run bill. And now what we're doing is not about just contesting for election, but learning on how to win the election.
If we don't do anything, if we don't take any step, the situation will remain the same and we continue to go through the same process every day. There has to be an action before the change.
The Political Organizing Lab program aims at boosting the morale of youth and women candidacy for 2023 general elections.
The Taliban have banned women from universities in Afghanistan, sparking international condemnation and despair among young people in the country. The Higher Education Minister announced the regression on Tuesday, saying it will take immediate effect The ban further restricts women's education. Girls have already been excluded from secondary schools since the Taliban returned last year. Some women have staged protests in the capital Kabul this Wednesday. The small demonstration were quickly shut down by Taliban officials. The United Nations and several countries have condemned the order, which takes Afghanistan back to the Taliban's first period of rule when girls could not receive formal education. The UN Special Rapporteur to Afghanistan said it was a new law further violating the right to equal education and deepens the erasure of women from Afghan society. The US said such a move would come with consequences for the Taliban. It led some women to dare to protest this Wednesday on the streets in Kabul, a dangerous act given the Taliban's record for detaining protesters. The small demonstration were quickly shut down by Taliban officials. This generation had thought they were the lucky ones getting the education denied to their mothers, older sisters and cousins. Instead, they are seeing their future crumble. The Taliban, which began as a hardline Islamist militant group, had promised to respect women's rights when they swept back to power in August last year, after the horrors of their previous rule from 1996 to 2001, when women couldn't work or study. If you're just joining us, you're watching the news on Clearview Television. When we come back, we bring you stories on women and children. Stay with us.
The news continues now with stories from our area of specialization, women and children. After the main transmission of our news, we rebroadcast on our YouTube page, Clearviewtv. Do you operate a women or children's NGO? Are you at the helm of affairs of a government establishment or a corporate organization involved in the affairs of women and children? Then you are our partners in progress. We have a mission to better the lot of our women and children. Join us to celebrate womanhood and work assiduously to better the lot of the Nigerian child. This is our mission.
Welcome back. In recent times, social media platforms have become more than news and information sharing outlets. It has become an outlet for many, most especially celebrities who, instead of keeping low profiles, see the platform as a ground to settle scores. In this special report, our correspondent Imefonokun highlights a few celebrity couples whose marital disputes have been made or marred by social media.
On the 27th of April 2022, a popular Nollywood actor, Yul Edochie, took to social media where he announced having a son with another woman, Judy Austin. Nigerians were taken aback by his news, as the actor is well known for his frequent posts proclaiming his devotion to his wife and how she has stuck with him. Many assumed it was a rumor, but it turned out to be true when his first wife, May, left a cryptic comment under the picture that said, "God will judge both of you." After dating for 6 years, Yul married his first wife, May, in 2004, when he was 22 years old. In October 2021, the pair celebrated their 17th wedding anniversary. They have 4 children together. In May 2022, Nigerian actress and social media influencer Nkechi Blessing Sunday and her ex-husband Opeyemi Falokon created a stir on social media when they revealed the reasons for their split. According to Nkechi Blessing, in an Instagram live video, the marriage ended due to infidelity. The movie star's estranged husband Falokon also acknowledged the end of their marriage. The politician stated in the live broadcast that he had a reputation to uphold and would never identify himself with someone who would harm his image. When multi-award-winning singer Innocent Idibia, aka Tubaba, finally decided to settle down and marry his longtime girlfriend, then Annie Macaulay, his fans were excited because it seemed like the perfect ending to a love story that had endured many tweets. Many commended him for eventually settling down with Annie, who he had reportedly been dating before meeting his other baby mamas, despite having children with various women. And just like a well-scripted romance novel, their marriage seemed to be made in heaven as the couple constantly showered encomiums on each other on social media before Annie took to her social media page to call out her husband and his family, accusing them of not loving her. She also went as far as deleting Idibia from her name and resorted to her maiden name, though she has since restored the marital name. Paul, 40, met Anita, 33, in 2004 during their undergraduate days at the University of Abuja. They married on March 22, 2014 in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Anita, the estranged wife of famous Nigerian music star Paul Okoye, better known as Root Boy and one half of singing duo P-Square, said her major reasons for divorcing Paul Okoye is on the ground of cheating, separation, being an absent father, fraud, and difficult experiences. However, in a surprise move, Anita filed for divorce in August 2021. The news of Paul's divorce came in the wake of JJC Skills' separation from Nollywood actress Funke Akindele. For the upbeat time, a popular Nollywood actress and the present deputy governor of the People's Democratic Party, Funke Akindele, came into the front burner for the wrong reason. This time, the actress' marriage of years hit the rock. While no one should wish an end to a marital union, especially one that revolves two celebrities, Funke and JJC Skills, who have become role models for today and tomorrow's lovers, it is not out of place to learn when the sweet love goes sour. The secret of most successful marriages is ensuring all marital issues are kept as private as possible. The same could not be said for Funke's marriage with his celebrity spouse, JJC. While Funke and JJC Skills were reportedly to be apart for about 2 years, a stepson of Funke, Benito, was quick to inform the public that Funke was cheating on JJC Skills, adding that his dad was also cheating on Funke. Meanwhile, the Most Reverend Geoffrey Ona, Bishop of the Catholic Diocese on Nsukka, this Wednesday has urged young couples to refrain from using social media to settle marital issues as it escalates the problems.
An Ikeja Sexual Offences and Domestic Violence Court this Wednesday lowered the bail condition of the medical director of Optimal Cancer Care Foundation, Dr. Femi Olaleye, from 50 million naira to 40 million naira. Justice Ramon Oshodi reduced the bail after the lead counsel of the defendant, Babatunde Igala-san, moved an application and prayed the court to reduce his client's bail to 10 million naira. And that one of the sureties should be a family or a professional colleague. The State Council, led by the Director of the Department of Public Prosecution, Babajide Martins, did not object the application and left the application at the discretion of the court. Ramon, however, in his ruling, reduced the bail from 50 million to 40 million, with 2 sureties in like sum. And that's the news, but before we go, a recap of the top stories. Prices of foodstuffs have skyrocketed as Nigerians count down to Christmas and New Year's celebrations. A visit to Gariki Market in the city center on a market survey reveals that the cost of food items are almost out of the reach of the average Nigerian, prompting a call for a price control. Again, London's Central Criminal Court has denied bail of former Nigerian's Deputy Senate President, Ike Ekweremadu. In the bail application, Ekweremadu's lawyer had urged that the Nigerian High Commissioner to the United Kingdom and the Attorney General of the Federation had written to the court that Ekweremadu was not a flight risk. We also told you that the Taliban have banned women from universities in Afghanistan, sparking international condemnation and despair among young people in the country. The UN Special Rapporteur of Afghanistan said it was a new law further violating the rights to equal education and deepens the erasure of women from Afghan society. Remember to like us on Facebook, Clearview Television. Follow us on Twitter at Clearview Television. Follow us on Instagram at ClearviewTV_NG. And also remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Clearview TV. Many thanks for watching. I am Dorothy Monday.